Calling meeting to order. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Welcome to the 22nd meeting of MECA KSA Toastmasters Club. Club member 07879933, Area 6, Division B, District 79. I am Anand, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Before we begin, let me read out the mission of our Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I request you all to repeat after me. For better listening,
better listening,
better thinking,
better thinking,
and better speaking,
and better speaking.
we learn by doing.
We learn by doing.
Thank you. I request you all to silence your cell phones during the meeting. Since we are in an online meeting, members other than role players, meeting leaders, and speakers are advised to mute their microphones during the meeting. You are urged to upload using emojis and through your videos. As a general rule, Toastmasters encourages all speakers and role players to speak on any topic except politics, religion, and sex. I hope you will enjoy today's meeting as I would. Let me now hand over the control of the meeting to the presiding officer, a great Toastmaster, a confident speaker, and an exemplary leader, our club president, distinguished Toastmaster, S.R. Sridhar. Toastmaster, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Anand Pillai, for a wonderful introduction. Today's theme is Adversity Quotient. It is one of the bestseller books by Peter Stoltz, who had written, because it's not talent that counts. It's not even the aptitude that counts. It's not even it is how we challenge all the adversaries, and in spite of adversaries, we grow and become resilient. That's what is important. The oak tree, it takes years to grow. The onion tree grows immediately. But then once the oak tree grows, it severs all the storms, all the climatic changes, and yet it stays strong. Do you know something? In Australia, Army and Navy, they interview candidates. They don't pick the successful candidate who is academically excellent. They see his history. They see whether they have faced adversities and how they have converted their failures into success. Those people who have failed, those people are only failed and succeeded. They are interviewed closely and then they're chosen. In sports, in Australian sports, Harsha Bogle said once that the main thing of the coaching people, the mind coaching people, is that to see that how you can face your adversaries. This is also picked up in India. For example, Dinesh Karthik and Robin Uthappa, who were not so successful before, but later on, they had a coach in Bombay who was staying in Hiranandani Gardens very far away. Yet, they were made to travel in trains. They were made to travel 4 o'clock, 4:30, go to the station and only travel by trains to meet the adversaries so that they become strong. And you can, the result is seen, how successful they became later on. So adversity quotient is one of the major quotient for being successful and resilient in life. Today's word master and grammar word master is our Dr. Sundar. Dr. Sundar, can you explain your role, please? Before I hand over the lecture to Dr. Sundar, I would like to announce the last week winners. Last week, best speaker last week was Ibrahim Karjikar. He did a grand slam. I would say a hat trick. Even the best table topic speaker was Ibrahim Karjekar. The best evaluator was Ibrahim Karjekar. The best leader, meeting leader was Sarat Agarwal. And the best of big three was Hidayatullah. Yeah, now I hand over the lectern to Dr. Sundar to explain his role as a word master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters and all my dear friends, a very, very warm good morning to you all. As your word master today, it is my responsibility to introduce to you a new word. And this new word is part of our experience in learning something new and expanding our vocabulary. In line with the theme of the day, the word for today's meeting is resilience. If you look at it, how it is pronounced, the American way of pronouncing it is a little bit lazy or the lay, okay? It's called resilience. Whereas the British, they pronounce it as resilience. So lay or li. According to psychology today, the definition for the word resilience is that ineffable quality that allows some people to be knocked down by life and come back stronger than ever. Rather than letting failure overcome them and drain their resolve, they find a way to rise from the ashes. In a nutshell, resilience can be defined as the ability and the tendency to bounce back. Time and again, we face failures. Time and again, we face adversities and challenges. But the opportunity, when it strikes back, we have to grab it and rise from wherever we fell down. So this is what resilience actually means. The noun resilience is basically a noun. And if you want to call a person who possesses this ability, we call them resilient. And the resiliency is the ability of being or possessing the ability to bounce back. So resiliency. I request you all to use the word of the day in whatever way possible, be it in your speeches, be it in your role play, and make sure that you are using this word day in and day out, because this is part of our training and vocabulary. And I shall be reporting who has used the word many times when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar, for explaining the word so nicely. The way you explained was really, really inspiring for me, how we come back from ashes like a phoenix. Our meeting is based on the pivot of those meeting leaders. Those are the meeting leaders because of which we can make this meeting successful. The timer of today's is Mr. Jabir Ali. Jabir Ali, could you please explain your role as a timer?
Sure. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the prepared speeches, table topic speakers, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Those giving prepared speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length, green card at 4 minutes, yellow card at 5 minutes, and red card at 6 minutes. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length, green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks between 1 to 2 minutes, green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes, green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds and red card at 30 minutes and at 3 minutes. For all speeches, table topic and evaluations, the speakers have 30 seconds to wrap up their presentation after the red card. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Jabir Ali, for your elaborate explanation. In speaking, we need to really hone our grammar. And of the grammarian for today is Dr. Sundar.
Thank you very much once again, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters, as your grammarian, I shall be observing the good and the not so good usages of English during the proceedings of the meeting. And I'll be noting down not only the best parts of grammatical usage, but also any words, quotations, phrases, or one-liners that are really catchy and which we could also replicate in our other speeches. So I shall be delivering my report when called upon by the general evaluator along with the word master's report. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar. I think the R counter has not come. Jabir, can you be the Hassan? Can you be the R counter today? Or it will be difficult. Hassan, Hussein, Hassan, Jabir Ali, can you do the role of R counter?
Okay, sir. Let me do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Shall I explain the role?
You can explain the role.
Once again, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good morning. The purpose of our counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and er. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jabir Ali. And the vote counter today is Dr. Sundar. Could you please explain your role, please?
Hello, Toastmasters. As the vote counter, I shall be helping you decide the best speaker, the best meeting leader, the best table topic speaker, the best evaluator, and the best of Big 3. So I shall be sharing a Google form link as and when the particular segment is over and the voting is called for. You can vote to the meeting leader or speaker or evaluator whom you feel performed to the best of their abilities. And I will not be voting as the vote counter until and unless there is a need to break a tie. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar. So now, for the guests and other people, the Toastmasters meeting is having 3 segments. The first segment is we have a section where prepared speeches. That is, we have speakers who practice day in and day out and give their projects according to the pathways they have chosen and the criteria of the pathways. So we have 11 pathways. So the speakers have chosen different pathways, and from that pathway and from that level, they have the particular projects. In that project, according to the criteria, they will deliver their speeches. So this is a first section of a program. Secondly, after that, we move into a very dynamic section. That is the table topics, impromptu speaking skills, where the table topics master calls upon any of the speaker, random speakers, based on the theme and ask some questions, and then we have to deliver a talk in 2 minutes. This hones our speaking ability during crisis or during when we are caught off guard, how we deal with the situation. And then finally, we have the evaluation section where we get feedback. We have to grow. How can we grow unless we know what we get the feedback? So that feedback session, instant feedback, is by the general evaluator. So without any delay, I would like to go to the first prepared speeches section. The prepared speeches, the first prepared speaker will be evaluated by our champion evaluator, Mr. Bala from Jubail. So Bala, could you please explain the criteria of our speaker, Mr. Anand Pillai?
Good morning, Toastmaster of the Day and fellow Toastmasters. First of all, thanks to Toastmaster of the Day for those generous words. Thank you, sir. So today, Toastmaster Anand Pillai is attempting his level 2 project to speech. The purpose of this project for the member is to clearly define Toastmasters' envisioning on mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. All the best, Toastmaster Anand Pillai, for your level 2 project performance. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Bala. Our speaker is a person with a lot of passion. He is a chartered accountant, certified accountant, ACCA from United Kingdom, a certified management accountant from Institute of Management Accountants, US. He's currently associated with Haji Hassan Group in Bahrain as a finance manager. He hails from the Indian state of Kerala and has been in the Gulf for 13 years. And he has joined Toastmasters to improve his communication and leadership skills. He is currently our sergeant at arms of our club. Please help me welcome Anand Pillai to deliver his project on mentoring.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mr. Sridhar, for that generous introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a guy was walking on a path and he sees by far there was another guy walking in front of him. And suddenly this guy turns back and yelled at him, "Hey man, be careful, there are dicks on your path." And this guy was like, "I'm knowledgeable, experienced, I don't need your guidance. I don't need your help." And guess what happened? Eventually, this guy fell into this lake. This is a classical example of how a mentor can impact the life of people. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a wonderful good morning to all of you. Today's my topic of discussion is the mentoring way. Well, why do we need a mentor? It is simply because they have already traveled the path. They carry with them all the treasures. They know where are the dicks. They know where are the treasures. They know which path to take. They know which path should not be taken. So the importance of a mentor cannot be measurable. Now, who can be a good mentor? A mentor is someone who is genuinely interested in the development of their profession. Right? So he will be having his wisdom, his experience, knowledge, willingness, and commitment that he can share with his profession. If I talk to you about my personal experience as a protege, when I was doing my graduation, I was part of extracurricular activities like NCC. So for this reason, I had to travel and I had to attend camps. And some cases, these camps go for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. So I had a professor who I consider my first mentor, and till date he is my best mentor. And this professor, he was keen in my development. By the time I come back after my camps, he always gives me extra time. He gives me special classes. He attends to all my queries. He never say no. Even on weekends or holidays also. Sometimes if I call him for certain queries or concerns, he attends my calls, explain things, he attends me personally. So this is the important thing that I have learned from him, that who is a better or who is a good mentor. He is knowledgeable, experienced, talented, and he brings with him a lot of experience. And on top of that, he is dedicated in the development. He has a keen interest in the development of his protege. Now, having seen this, who is a good protege or a mentee? It's simple, or how you can become a good protege. It's simple, we can say that someone who realized that we are always learning. There is something yet to be learned, improved. Right? So for saying that until we reach the deathbed, everyone is learning. So it is a realization concept that in my previous example, I said that, okay, come on, I know this road. I know this path. I know where are the digs. So if I have that mentality, definitely I cannot be a good protege. It's like that. Definitely I need to listen to somebody. They have already traveled this path. They know it. I don't have to reinvent the wheels. The wheels are already invented. So having a mentor is very important in life. And at the same time, try to be a good protege. As I have explained in my experience. In this experience, what we have understand is that in a mentorship arrangement, both the mentor and the mentee, they are earning something in common. As the word goes by saying that we can learn things better by teaching. Right? We can learn things better by teaching. At the same time, it's the same case with mentoring. The mentor is becoming a protege. The protege is becoming a mentor. So in the life cycle, the protege is becoming a mentor, and the mentor is challenging something, and he is also becoming a protege. So first thing, how we can become a good mentor? Become a good mentor, we need to become a good protege. And then this good protege can understand what is happening. What is like me, my example, I understand what are the good traits of a good mentor. So when I become a mentor, I understand how I can help the protege. With that, I would like to say, let's be open to whatever happening in the life, in the environment. Let's be open. Let's be teachable. Let's be a protege, and follow someone who has already traveled the path. And that's it. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand Pillai, for a wonderful speech. By the way, Anand Pillai delivered his level 2 speech from the pathway persuasive influence. And he has been really persuasive always. Our next speaker will be delivering his icebreaker speech. He'll be evaluated by one of our dynamic leader and speaker, a person whose rise is because of his persistence and resilience in achieving his goals. Please help me welcome Hassan Hussain to give the criteria of our speaker. Hassan? Yeah.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. My speaker today is going to deliver his first project, Icebreaker. The purpose of his project is to introduce himself to the club and to learn the basic structure of a public speech. The time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes. I wish good luck to the speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Hassan Hussain. Hassan, can you just unmute your video also when you speak? Okay. Yeah. The next speaker, yeah, I see a lot of value in this person. I see a lot of potential. He is going to introduce himself, so I would not say anything about him. Please help me welcome Qazi Saeed to give his icebreaker speech. Qazi Saeed, you there? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Never, never, whether you are 5 or 100, never give up. It's never too late. Distinguished Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good morning. I am Qazi Sayyid Naqiyuddin from Maharashtra, India. In my icebreaker speech, I would like to share few of my life-changing incidents. Born in a middle-class family with 5 siblings, father was warehouse manager in a public sector enterprise. Life was pleasant, playing, studying well. I was one of the toppers of the class and I was preparing for civil engineering. Suddenly life changed. Father passed away when I was 16. Being the eldest child in my family, I was disheartened, worried about myself and my siblings' future. One senior relative advised collectively that some of the relatives will contribute for our expenses and my education expenses as well till I complete my civil engineering. My mother politely rejected that offer with thanks and instructed me to go out and search for a job. I switched my education from science to commerce and started looking for a job. Being young with no experience, it was very difficult to find a job. Finally, got a job as a helper in a pharmaceutical company. Disheartened, mother encouraged me to join and advised never give up and keep trying. After 6 months, I got a job as a sales representative in a home appliances trader. Worked there for 1.5 years. When I turned 18, my father's company agreed to offer me a job of accounts clerk. While working, tried to appear for departmental exams for higher position, never succeed, disheartened. Again, mother encouraged me, never give up, keep striving. During this period, I completed master's degree in advanced accounting and auditing. Tried hard, but could not get admission in a prestigious institute for MBA. Disheartened. Again, mother encouraged me and advised to go for another certification. I succeeded to get admission in a postgraduate diploma in business administration and passed with distinction. Following advice of a friend who was working in Middle East, started looking for a job in Middle East. And after trying continuously for 2.5 years, succeeded to grab a job in a very good consulting firm in Riyadh. It was totally new experience for me. Working with different nationalities has changed my perspective at all. After working there for 2 years, went back to India. While looking for another job, I used the time for learning and joined a crash course on ERP applications, which gave me a very good understanding of ERP functionalities, which helped me at later stage in implementing 2 major ERP projects. After staying 6 months in India, succeeded to get a job of regional accounts manager in Savola Group. Excellent working environment. I learned many things. After working 5 years in Savola Group, I moved to real estate division of Savola Group as finance manager. For 4 years, life was going on well. I was workaholic, did not focus on self-development. Actually, I had put myself in a shell. 5th year, management changed and slowly things started getting miserable. I did not take any action with anticipation that things will change soon, which was one of my biggest mistakes of life. Again, 5 years passed, no development. Office environment was changing slowly. I was working always under pressure. 10th year, a new CFO came and as a change, he kicked me out along with other 4 staff members and reappointed us as a consultant for 1 year. I started looking for a job. Market was down. It was very difficult to get a job. Again, disheartened. This time, my entire family came up as a support. So I could sustain for some time. Finally, got an opportunity in a medium-scale trading company as a head of finance and decided to join. Though it was a smaller firm, but work scope was bigger. Being head of finance, I am part of decision-making and as board secretary, attending board meetings too. During last 2.5 years, got very good experience, which I did not get in my previous jobs. I learned from mistakes, which I did during previous job, that never put yourself in a comfort zone. I remember my mother teaching that never ever give up, and life is continuous learning process, which made me to join Toastmaster Club and other development courses for further development. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Qazi, for your introducing yourself. Our next evaluator is our unofficial ambassador of Toastmasters. He's such a nice gentleman. Even talking 5 minutes to him will make I get inspired. And such a humble person I have seen. Please help me welcome Umar Farooq Awan to give the criteria of our next speaker, Sanat Agarwal. Umar Farooq?
Thank you, Toastmaster today. Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal will be attempting presentation mastery pathway level 2 project, understanding your communication style. And objectives of his speech are to learn about different communication styles and to identify his own communication style, and also to share the impact of his style on others. So speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Sanat. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar Farooq, for that generous introduction.
I will be introducing you now. Sanat.
Okay.
1 second. Our next speaker is a multifaceted personality. He's an engineer and then turned into a finance guy. He's certified treasury manager and he's running his own firm, Simplify. Mind you, he's such a passionate Toastmaster and wants to grow as a speaker. And he joined Toastmasters to network and become a proficient leader and a speaker. He's blessed with 2 children. Please help me welcome the next speaker of the day, whose title of the speech is Communication Style, which is from the Pathway Presentation Mastery. Please give a rousing welcome to Sanat Agarwal.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar, Toastmaster of the Day, for that generous introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and guests, a very warm good morning to all of you. Today I'm going to speak on communication. What is communication? Communication is a two-way process which helps a mutual understanding of 2 individuals by written messages, by non-verbal messages, by your body languages, and not only this, but how you behave. Your overall behavior is also a communication. It is sending a message to others. So as I was researching through the speech, through my speech, I realized that there are different types of communication. What are those types? There is a direct communication, where a person is very direct in his message or her message. They are very confident about themselves when they speak, enthusiastic, and they don't beat around the bush. The message is direct, given in a self-assured manner. such people, people with such a communication style, they prefer that the message is delivered in short and succinct manner, rather than a very verbose, beating around the bush, going around in circles. They prefer the message is given direct. There's a second communication style, which is analytical communication style. These people who prefer an analytical type of communication, they don't like confused information. There was huge amount of data. What is huge? Is it 100 GB? It is 200 GB? It is a trillion GB? It's a gigabytes? So they prefer that information is given in a structured manner, in quantified manner, in things which they can relate to. Such people, they are slow speakers. If information is given to them, they prefer to absorb that information, analyze that information, and then react. They will normally not react to information which is not clear and quantified. There's a third kind of a communication style, which is like an initiative communication style. You go into any party or any gathering, whether it's business or social, there will be a set of people who will initiate. They'll come to you. They will initiate a conversation. These people are very sociable. They like to speak. They like to interact with people. They like to share their stories. You will always find such people in gatherings where people are surrounding them, and they are alive for a meeting. They provide they make the gathering a fun place to be. They are fun loving. Sometimes these people are, because they are very talkative, sometimes people may feel they don't allow others to speak. It is their nature. There's a fourth communication style, which is a supportive communication style. These people are very calm, soft-spoken, and composed. They will speak slow, react slowly to things, absorb a lot of information, and they are very good listeners. This is the very dominant trait of these people, and because they are very good and patient listeners, their communicators or person they are communicating with, they feel this person is dependable. He's loyal. We can trust this person. So these are 3 or 4 different communication styles. I did answer a short survey on the Toastmasters International, and I figured out that the dominant style for me is direct or analytical, and to a very large extent I agree with that. I also have some traits of initiative and supporting. So my communication style, and this is true for everyone, your communication style, you are not 100% direct communicator or 100% analytical. You are a mix of your style is a mix of different styles, and there are a dominant style and a not so dominant style, and that is how each individual is. But there is a dominant trait in an individual, and what you have to do is, okay, this is knowledge we have. Now, if we know that there are different types of communication style, how do we make use of this knowledge? The way to make use of this knowledge is that if we have an understanding, a better understanding of the person that we are speaking to, and we are able to figure out what is his or her communication style, then we can adapt our own communication style meet his or her comfort zone. So we can speak to him or her in their comfort zone. Right? So if let us say you are speaking to somebody who has a direct communication style, give short messages to him or her. Don't talk, give a verbose talk. If somebody is an analytical communicator, then you speak to him with as much as possible with precise data, a data set, which he can analyze, absorb. Allow him or her to absorb that information and then react. Don't push them or rush them into kind of reacting to you. If you are speaking to somebody who is an initiative, allow them to speak. Allow them to speak. Allow them to share their stories. They like it. Similarly, if you are speaking to somebody who is supportive, then they don't expect them to talk too much. They will be more happy to listen to you. So this way you can be very effective communicator if you have understood the communication style of the others. With this, I end my speech. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sanat Agarwal, for your good speech on communicating style. Our next speaker would be delivering his third project in his presentation mastery from level 2. The evaluator is yours truly, and I will explain the criteria of his speech. Our next speaker will be delivering his project level 2, project number 3, and it is his title of the speech is Experience with My Mentors. The purpose of the speech project for the members is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the mentor to share some aspect of previous experience with his as a prodigy. The speech title time is about 5 to 7 minutes, and the member may discuss some aspects of a prodigy experience, and also the speech should not be a report or a content of report. So please, so our speaker is again a very versatile person. He is also an engineer, and one thing. He hails from the Indian state of Tamil Nadu and city of Chennai, did his higher studies in Bangalore and New Delhi. He is basically a transportation engineer and a planner. And in a mid-career, he moved to project financing and Islamic banking after completing his MBA in finance and management. He is in KSA since 2004. He joined worked in Al Raji Bank, and then he worked in Bahrain, UAE, and now he's a senior director, project finance in Al Raji Bank. He joined as a National Center for Privatization and PPP, Ministry of Finance, and Government of KSA as Senior Executive Advisor, Transportation Sector. He has over 30 years of professional experience in various fields. He joined Toastmasters to improve his public speaking skills and presentation skills, and he wants to become a great leader and a communicator. He's blessed with 2 children, and he's currently a treasurer of our Toastmasters Club. Please help me welcome Muhammad Hidayatullah, Hidayatullah Beg, who will be giving his project, My Experience with Mentors. Mr. Hidayatullah Beg.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar, for the generous introduction. If you want something great in your life, you need to dream. You need to dare and do it. If you want something very extraordinary in your life, you need to dream, you need to dare, and you need to do it with great mentors. Good morning, Presiding Officer, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my experience with mentors and how it helped me develop and what I am today and becoming resilient. Before I go to my topic, let's understand what is mentoring all about. A mentor is a person with tons of experience who will provide you with guidance and support in order to empower his protege or mentor under him to realize and reach his goals. We have today live examples in front of us like DTM Sridhar, DTM Sundar, etc., who have mentored several budding Toastmasters. A mentor with his immense experience and skills helps a protege work towards a challenging leadership goal. With immense wisdom, the mentor supports the protege or mentee by listening patiently to his concerns and challenges and thoughts in reaching his goals. The mentor will confidently and non-judgmentally address these concerns and suggest successful strategies, provide constructive guidance to meet his mentee's goals. The mentor makes his protege more passionate about his goals and help in gaining confidence. The mentor provides appropriate feedback and suggestions which help the protege achieve his goals. So you gain a lot if you have a mentor with you. Mind you, we should not get confused between mentoring and coaching, as both are completely different. Mentoring is a relationship oriented, whereas coaching is task oriented. Coaching focuses attention on improving a specific skill or helping the coachee reach certain goals, whereas mentoring emphasizes a more holistic approach of the protege with his long-term sustainable goals. Now, let's come back to my story of my experience with mentors. I have been blessed in my career with amazing mentors who gave me a lot of wisdom and growth. Those foundations helped me in developing a meaningful career towards my through my hard work and gain resilience. When I was in class 10, I had a friend with whom I would do joint studies at his home. Opposite to his house was a student's hostel. My friend got acquainted with a gentleman somehow who used to visit the hostel to meet his friends. I got introduced to this gentleman who is a school teacher teaching science in a government secondary school. Over a period of time, myself and my friend became good friends with this gentleman. We used to chat a lot, and he used to clarify our doubts in science and mathematics subjects. Then we started talking about our life ambitions, career goals, life purpose, etc., etc. And he started sharing his wisdom on these topics. He provided us with a lots of suggestions on self-development, importance of focusing in our studies, career planning, like choosing mathematics or economics or science stream in our secondary schools. He also made us prepare a 10-year vision for ourselves. As a great mentor, he provided valuable insights on different topics which helped me immensely in shaping my career. We carried on for 3 long years, after which he disappeared completely from our lives. Yes, I definitely miss him a lot. The second mentor in my life was my lecturer when I was in my 3rd year engineering. He just joined our college, and from the very first day in his class, it was like meeting of minds. I used to walk to him anytime for any doubts and clarification. He was very much like my earlier mentor, who used to talk about life goals, career options, etc., and provided very valuable suggestions and tips. When I was in my final engineering, in fact, he recommended me for a job in a consultancy organization for which I was selected even before I could complete my course before my final examination. Again, I gained immensely from another great mentor. Now, fast forward it now to this date. I have a great mentor in DTM's leader at MECA Toastmasters Club. It is one of his passionate call from him which made me become a regular at our Toastmasters meeting. He is always approachable, gives valuable suggestions related to your speech topics, meeting roles, etc., and also keeps me encouraging and pushing to complete the levels as soon as possible. Likewise, we have DTM Sundar. Though I have not spoken to him on one-on-one with him, he responds to my WhatsApp messages instantly, and his feedback during the sessions is very invaluable. Therefore, there are lots of benefits working with a mentor in developing your life skills as a career. With this, I would like to conclude that if you want to develop an extraordinary person, reach your goals, you need to dream, you need to dare it, and do it with a great mentor. Thank you. Back to you, DTM Sridhar.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hidayatullah. Please give a rousing applause. Here, our Hidayatullah Beg has completed his level 2 in presentation mastery today. Timer, where all the speakers are qualified. Jabir Ali.
All are qualified, sir.
Thank you so much. Kindly vote for the best speaker whom you felt did the best job. Dr. Sundar will give the voting link now. Before proceeding to the next, while voting is going on, the next section, I noticed we have a lot of guests today. I should have introduced them in the beginning, but I just like to call them up now. We have a guest, Munish Gupta. Could you please introduce yourselves? Munish Gupta.
Good afternoon, everybody. I live in India, north part of India, Jammu Kashmir. I became Toastmaster member a year ago. I find this is the best platform where we can hone our public speaking skills. Toastmaster has made this world as a global village. I get an opportunity to rub shoulder with you, and today I am going to learn something new from you. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Thank you. Our next guest is, one second. Naveen Parwal, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Thank you, distinguished Toastmasters and guests. I'm Naveen Parwal, and I'm joining in from Jaipur in India. And it's always a pleasure to attend Toastmasters meeting, and ever since it's become virtual, it's become a global village, and it's always a pleasure to meet new people and participate in Toastmasters. And I look forward to learning something new from this meeting. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much for attending our meeting. While the voting is going on, I will try to introduce the next. 1 second. Let me also vote. Our next session is a very interesting session. This is impromptu speaking. It's a very important session because we have to give a speech on 2 minutes, and it's on any topic related to the theme of the day. And this will be conducted by one of our most dynamic leaders and speaker in our Toastmasters community in Saudi Arabia. He is a senior finance professional and is working as a finance head in ABT company. He's blessed with 2 children, and he hails from the city of Joy, Calcutta. He is a past area director of Area 61, and he is passionate about sports and also watching films. Now he's holidaying in Bahrain, but yet for a commitment, he's become the table topics master for today. Please help me welcome past area director Abid Khan to present the table topic session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Can I get one confirmation from you? Is my audible is okay?
Yeah, you're audible and visible.
Loud and clear, sir.
Perfect. Thank you very much. It's awesome feeling when you introduce someone, DTM Sridhar. Thank you. Thanks for such a nice introduction. And thank you, everyone. Good morning. Now, today we are going to have a table topic session, and most of you are not the first time, but still let me explain in a very short way that it's a session where I will give you a topic and then you have to attempt that topic. And for your convenience, I will first call the topic so you can start thinking. Then I will call the Toastmaster who needs to attempt the topic, and then you need to speak on the topic. The timing minimum is 1 minute, maximum is 2 minutes, and you will see the signal of green when you will reach 1 minute, and yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. But don't worry of the red signal because you will still have 30-second grace period. So please speak until 2 minutes 30 seconds. So let's start. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, the first topic is mastery requires patience. Mastery requires patience. Now, do we have Toastmaster Ibrahim available to attempt this topic? Wow. So Toastmaster Ibrahim, the topic is, there is a hand raised. Manish Gupta, you want to say anything?
He wants to speak, I think.
I do want to speak table topic, just this. That's the reason I raised that.
No problem. Okay, we'll be quiet.
Okay, so Toastmaster Ibrahim, the topic is mastery requires patience. Over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Am I visible as well? Mastery requires patience. No two ways about it. I read somewhere it takes 10,000 relentless hours for laser focus attention to what the objective where you want to achieve your mastery. Masters are not born overnight. Masters are not born with those genes that make them master by birth. Choices, what each of them do, when they focus their attention in becoming the master. Look at history. You have to convince him. He was not essentially so good in his entire life. It's only the end of his career he got the recognition, which was purely based on the time he devoted towards the art which he mastered, and eventually it evolved into diversified field. Each of us has opportunity to avoid conformity trap and offer the world the best version of ourselves. Whether we are the prime minister, a teenager, or a corporate leader, we often start out wanting to be like others until an external event or situation forces you to confront the tool society structure imposes. You are different. Mastery requires significant focus. It can't be overnight. I have an area of mastery back at my work, which my colleagues and my top management say that I can figure out a needle in a hay. Essentially, that's not how it is. It's over time, I have mastered the art of assessing and processing the data. I have mastered the art of writing those algorithms using the VBA code, which allows me to identify the culprit cases. I can't agree more. Mastery requires patience. Over to you, tabletop master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ibrahim. Thanks for justifying the topic and the timing both. Now, so Mr. Munish, Toastmaster Munish, I can see the body language is quite positive and you're so, willing to attempt. Thanks for self-nominating. And so let's hear what quotation or story, quotation and or story that keeps you going and not giving up. What helps you? What lesson, quotation, story, anything that helps you keep going and not giving up? So over to you, Toastmaster Munish.
Good afternoon, everybody. What lesson or story which helps me to keep moving? I can say it is by default I have this quality. I went for my kids admission in one of the best school of India, Sinar School, that's in Sinawar. And there I read the quotation. Outside it was written, never give up. In my life, whenever some problem arises, I try like my level best that I keep on trying, whether there is any hurdle, hiccup, or mountains of obstacles over there. My job is to keep on trying. Maybe I win or lose. Maybe I obtain that thing or not, but my job is to try. Because I live in a country where our work is done by bureaucrats. And sometimes they sit on your file, they don't move your file. And we are helpless and they are not accountable. We can't do anything. But my job, I won't think like this, that my job is not done, so I should not try. I keep on trying, keep on trying. If I lose also, I won't bother. But somewhere down the line, it gives me satisfaction that I tried. I didn't become successful. That's something else. But my job, which I have to do it, I did it. Couple of days ago, I ran a newspaper and the government stopped my advertisement to show the real picture. And the Press Council of India team came in Kashmir. I live in Jammu. I went all the way to Kashmir, which is a disturbed area. And they want our government that I should not meet their people. But I went over there, I took a risk. When I reached over there, I knew one of the person. I texted him, but they tried my level best that I should not meet them. But it was in my mind when I was going on the way. If they don't allow me, no problem. But I tried. But by the grace of God, I met them. My job is not done today, but I tried. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Wow. Amazing story came up. Now, next table topic, master. Next topic is which habit has helped you or is helping you to achieve what you are achieving now? Means, what is one habit that you will give the credit to? What is the one habit that is helping you to become successful? Now, this table topic, let me check if Toastmaster Muhammad Hassan is will be able to attempt this topic. Are you available, Toastmaster Muhammad?
You can call someone else. Mohammed Hassan will not. You can call someone else.
Toastmaster Shoaib Hassan is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shoaib Hassan. Yeah, Toastmaster Shoaib, you are there? Yeah. Oh, good. So the topic is
yes.
What one habit that is helping you to become successful? Over to you, Toastmaster Shoaib.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for choosing me for the table topic. Which habit has helped me to achieve what in which I have been successful? There are multiple examples. I would like to start with one item which keeps me going. Again, it also links to the previous topic, is which quotation piece has helped me throughout. So my school principal gave us one quotation to keep us for the rest of our life, which was aim for the stars, you will get to the sky. And in the process, keep persevering. Perseverance is the key. So the word perseverance, which also links to the word of the day, resilience, all of those combined together, and I'm trying to follow these words and these quotations and these habits, and I'm trying to incorporate those into my life. There are a couple of practical life examples in my work environment as well. There are issues which we come across on a day-to-day basis, and there are situations where we have to give priority to one issue as compared to the other one. What I try to do is, while the one issue is being prioritized, the other one which goes to the back end of the burner also is on the also I also make sure that it stays on track, and try to persevere, try to motivate my team that I am focusing on one, you focus on the other one, and keep persevering, to ask them to be resilient as well in the process. Give them the same motivation which I have. Aim for the best, you'll get somewhere. So that somewhere is, at least at the end of the day, we'll have something to look back on and something to something we can take pride in. I'm trying. My thoughts right now are maybe sorry, there's a mixture of feelings, but what I've tried to focus on is that one habit that has kept me going is perseverance. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Shoaib. Thank you very much. Now, I need to ask one thing, DTM Sridhar. Do we have time to go for more topics, or? Okay, so let's
yeah, I can take topics, no problem.
Okay, I got the message. So next topic is, people often say that never give up. Is it really important? So what's your opinion? So next topic is, people often say never give up. What's your opinion? And let me call Toastmaster Mati Hashmi. Will you be available to attend? Toastmaster Mati.
Hello, yes, sir.
Yes. So the topic is, people often say never give up. Yeah. Don't worry, take your time. People often say never give up. What's your opinion?
People say they never give up. This is
Point of order, Toastmaster Mati. We cannot hear you, Toastmaster Mati.
Now you can hear.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
People say that never give up. So this is quite practical in life, because you have to make the best efforts and you have to struggle in your life, and you in any adversities or difficulties, you have to believe in yourself, believe on your abilities, believe on your strengths. You have to apply your best possible opportunities you have, and you have to make the best efforts accordingly. Like when I gone to Dubai for the job search, and I was quite new there, and but I kept on struggling for the job. I met with my friend. I gone to the job searching. I given the ad in the newspaper. I rewritten my CV. So I redoctored my CV. I applied for the different jobs to the different job websites. So obviously you have to professionally review your plus minuses, and you have to polish your abilities, and you should believe in yourself to become successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mati. Thanks for the nice attempt of the topic. Now, the next topic is success is nothing but building a good habit and breaking a bad habit. So what's your views on this? Now, the Toastmaster is Toastmaster Bala. So Toastmaster, yes. So now you need to apply your Mind Academy, okay? So the topic is success is building a good habit and breaking a bad habit. What's your views, Toastmaster Bala? Over to you.
Table topic master and fellow Toastmasters, good morning to all. Once in my previous company, there was a very attractive quote which said, success is nothing but habituation of your mind or a prolonged period of time. I completely agree with it. It's about doing the right things at the right time, at the right place. And if you start doing it, you will have eventually things falling in your own way and as per your intended points. So now let me take a personal thing. For quite some time, I intended to be a motivational speaker, but I was not at the right place, and I was not doing things in the right spirit, or I would say how it has to be done. Toastmastering is a forum which helped me shape it up in a proper way so that I can persuade, give an informative piece, and through some time, I can inspire, if not one, many. So now, if it is to be built upon not so conducive habits, then you're not going to be successful enough. But if you start having the right habits over a period of time, eventually things will fall in place. And that's what it happened to me as well. I positioned myself in the SATAC 2021 as a finalist. It didn't happen overnight. There were many things which was done at the right time, at the right place with right people around. So success is a thing which happens provided if you do with right habits, with the right spirit. And also you have to get rid of a lot of your unconducive attempts in your period of time. So once you do that, then success is just around your corner. Thank you. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Yeah. Thanks for setting up the stage for the next topic, because success comes if you have one right good habit. So if you are, next topic is, if you are self-disciplined, then adversity is not going to do anything to you. So if you are self-disciplined, adversity is not going to do anything to you. Now the next topic goes to Toastmaster Qazi Saeed. So Toastmaster Qazi Saeed. The topic is, if you are self-disciplined, adversity is not going to do anything to you. You are mute, Toastmaster Qazi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Topic Master. Discipline is very important in your life. Without discipline, it is very difficult to achieve any goal. Start from the beginning. When you are a child, your parents teach you how to be disciplined with every habit you have to adopt. I'll give you a very good example. And if you have a very good habit of reaching office on time or before time every day, the people who play the politics around you, they won't find any objection or any negative point or any negative point to against you. So that's it. Sorry, more than that, it's difficult to avoid. Thank you very much. Over
Okay.
to
Yeah, no worries, Toastmaster Ghazi. Let me ask you one thing. Will you like to share any story that helps you, helps you overcome, that helps you keep going? Any suggestion, any story, any quotation from your life that helps you keep going?
The consistency I have, I have a very good habit of consistency, which helped me to move on in my life where I am. In every habit, every aspect, whatever I do consistently. Either I fail or pass, I fail or I fell down and get up. I try continuously doing that with consistency and punctuality. That helped me allowed to reach out here, and that is also hopefully that will help me further move ahead. Thank you very much. Over to Topic Master.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Kazi. So that's all from my side. I hope you all enjoyed this session, and sorry for giving some topics that was not very familiar, but I thought it's important to talk on these things so that the momentum build up for us. So thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster DTM Sridhar. You're mute, DTM Sridhar.
Thank you, Abid Khan, for wonderful topics. In spite of the uncomfortable zone, you gave us the beautiful topics. Now, whether the speakers whether all the speakers are qualified?
All are qualified.
Okay, yeah.
All are qualified.
So kindly vote for the best.
Point of information. Timer, can you please confirm the speakers? Names of the speakers, if you don't mind.
Name of the speakers.
Or can you say, let me repeat it, can you just confirm if these are the correct ones?
Yes, okay, yeah.
We had Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar, Toastmaster Munish Gupta, Toastmaster Sohaib Ahsan, Toastmaster Mati Hashmi, Toastmaster Bala, and Toastmaster Qazi Sayed.
Correct, yeah.
Thank you.
6 members, yes. Okay.
I'll now share the voting link.
Thank you.
Now, our next is a very interesting session where in Toastmasters program, you get feedback, instant feedback. That session will be given by one of our most dynamic speaker and a leader, a person who is so passionate to improve his communicating and leadership skills. And he has made an exponential growth in that aspect. In the past few months, or rather 1 year, we can see a remarkable progress. And what is great about this person is that he's always willing to take responsibility, willing to help in times of trouble, and he grabs all opportunity of speaking or leading. That is a hallmark of his success, in spite of his adversity. He's a finance professional, but he's now a planning manager in Bari Logistics. He has a wide range of experience for almost more than 20 years in all parts of the kingdom, and he was working for 18 years in the United States of America. He's passionate about cricket, and he was the president of the cricket board in US, in New York, New Jersey. Now, please help me welcome, and his main role he enjoys is being a father. Please help me welcome a passionate Toastmaster, Ibrahim Karjikar, to be the general evaluator of today.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for this generous introduction. It's such an odd thing to say, right? The benefit of the doubt is withheld with many of us. Options are evenly distributed and indoctrination is real. And yet, no matter where we begin, we each get the choice every day to choose to lead. And the situation demands that I shut up and bring in my evaluators, taking time factor into consideration. I barely have time if I put all the numbers together. So without much ado, I would just step in and I would request our first evaluator, who is an electronic instrumentation engineer, currently working as an asset engineer in Kimia Sabic, immediate past president of Mind Academy Toastmasters Club, co-founder of Mind Academy, an educational startup which is started with the motto of helping the next generation move into the right direction of their own humble way. Fascinating. Fellow Toastmasters, please welcome Toastmaster R.N. Balasubramaniam to evaluate speech of Toastmaster Anand Pillai. Toastmaster R.N. Bala, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Ibrahim, for those really inspiring words. Thank you. An unconditional surrender to your master helps you unleash the unexplored talents within you. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, General Evaluator, and Toastmaster Anand Pillai in particular, a very good morning to all. Congratulations, Toastmaster Anand Pillai, for completing your Level 2 Project 2 objectives in style. It was an inspiring, informative, and persuasive speech. Now, let me take this opportunity to evaluate. Over a period of time post your speech, I was trying to just visualize what were the key factors which leaves behind as resonance of your performance. The standout was, just like a sprinter, the first few yards defines the whole momentum. The beautiful setting up of your introduction, where you created the ploy with a suspense in it, struck my mind even after you completed your speech for, say, 15 to 20 minutes of time. That tells how you can be a crafty storyteller with a beautiful opening with a suspense built in it. Your hand gestures were just extending a bit of message in an amplified way, which you were trying to communicate to us. The personal story always adds more weight to the message which you are trying to put forward. The story of your mentor, how he was trying to connect with you beyond his roles and duties, where a message which is also being endorsed by Toastmasters, which was also part of your purpose for this particular project. Confidence is something what defines a speaker. As a speaker, your impact in the whole project was the confidence with which you were revealing whatever points you were intending to say to the audience. So I would say confidence, your ability to communicate through your gestures are your strengths. And this interesting way of opening up and setting up the story with a little bit of suspense is your strength. Just hold on to it. Every speaker has some blind spots. Here are two of the blind spots which I felt you can improve upon. You had an excellently illuminated area where you were presenting your speech. There were two characters in your story which I thought was there for some purpose. One was the Donald Duck and the Mickey Mouse. I understand there could have been some area limitations, but what happened, it was gaining more attention than you as a storyteller. Next time, you could have chosen a plain background, which can help us get more connected only with you and with the stories which you're promoting up. The second part is pause during those suspense would have elevated more interest in the story. Overall, you are a great storyteller with a confident approach in your storytelling purpose. All the best. Keep going. Back to you, General Walter.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Bala. Let's bring in our next evaluator, who currently is working as a senior internal auditor for Renault Automobiles for over 7 years, has been a Toastmaster since February 2019, and strongly believes in the transformational service leadership. He has done his MS5, IP4, and VC1, and I believe you all are familiar with the MS, which is motivational strategies. Yeah. Immediate past president of Horizon Toastmaster Club in District 79 and member diversity for success Toastmaster Club in District 10 in USA. Fellow Toastmasters, please join with me to welcome Toastmaster Umar Farooq, who is going to evaluate our second speaker, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Ibrahim, for such a wonderful introduction. So, Toastmaster Sanat, they say that communication skill is the king skill among all the soft skills, whether it is stress management, time management. If you are not a good communicator, your PhD degree in your English or PhD degree in whatever qualification you have, if you are not able to communicate what you want to say or what not be able to make understand, so your knowledge is wasted. So communication skill is the king skill. And Toastmaster Sanat has wonderfully explained through his speech what communication styles we can have. What I loved about Toastmaster Sanat is he started off with a question: what is communication style? And secondly, how gestures. I love how a communicator or speaker uses hand gestures to convey the information, to emphasize on the points. So I loved his hands were talking with the words he was speaking also. That was lovely. Another thing where he tried to include a gigabyte joke also about analytical speakers. Okay, how many 250 GBs, 300 GBs? That I loved it. That was interesting. And also he was giving examples about direct, analytical, and all communication style. Overall, an excellent one attempt. But I always believe that there is a room for improvement, a room for growth for every speaker. What I would like to suggest to Toastmaster Sanat is, first of all, camera position. Camera position should be at eye level for a speaker, and it's not like at an angle you are standing and the camera is below you. It should be at the eye contact level. Secondly, that I want to say, when you are asking a question, pause for a little bit, so everybody can think about what you are want. They can contemplate also. Okay, what should be the answer? Third, this is something that I would like to. I have seen the pattern a lot in a lot of Toastmaster speeches over the year, that a lot of speakers quote a lot of content of the project. Okay, this is direct communication. This is the different leadership styles, and they start explaining the project in their speech, quoting a lot of project content in their speech. That I would like to avoid it. Have your own material, have your own understanding of what the project is all about, and convey it in a speech format. Another thing that I would love to is you are not that much prepared as a speaker. You are looking a lot of times upward. When you are looking, it means you are thinking about what you want to say. Eye contact is not there, so a lot of time you are thinking, maybe thinking, okay, what I want to say like this. That you should be avoided. And last but not the least, conclusion. I thought conclusion was not there at all. You concluded abruptly. Having a strong conclusion will add value to the speech. Overall, an excellent attempt. and you are a wonderful speaker, wonderful body language, and I'm sure you'll be an amazing speaker in future speeches to come. Over to you, Janav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar, for a fascinating evaluation. Our next evaluator, he is from the city Darbhanga from state of Bihar. He is staying in Saudi Arabia for the past 8 years and currently working as a QA QC manager and MEFC company in Riyadh, a certified QMS ISO lead auditor, lives with his parents and his lovely wife. He has served as a president of Students Union during his engineering college and is currently a VP at Grand Professional TMC and VPE at Mobily Never Surrender. He's a member of Taj Toastmaster Club, Area 6 Assistant Club Growth Director. Fellow Toastmasters, please welcome Toastmaster Mohammed Hassan Hussain, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Qazi Saeed. Toastmaster Mohammed Hassan, the virtual stage is yours.
No matter how strong our resolutions are, but sometimes we get frustrated and we give up without realizing that how close we were from our goal. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, General Evaluator, a warm good evening to all of you. Our speaker today, Qazi Saeed, he brings in this story while introducing himself to the club. He awakes us all by the message that we shall never give up whatever condition we are going through. We shall always keep on trying. This was the wholesome message from his personal story that he was delivering during his icebreaker speech. What a great messageful story, Qazi Saeed, you have bring in today. While introducing yourself, we learn about you, that you are a brother of 5 siblings, and we learn about the distressful moment that happened in your life at the age of 16 when your father passed away, and all the journey that you have come across during your personal professional career. You also spoke about the moment where your mother pushed you to jump in or look for a job, and you have gone through several struggling moments in your life. You have done several jobs like ERP implementer or in accounting. You have done so many things that give you immense experience, life experience. What I like in your speech was your confidence of delivery. You were speaking very confidently on the stage. You are not like first-time speaker. You are not looking hesitant. You were delivering all your content with so much of confidence. Your voice clarity was very perfect. As well as you were a great storyteller. You were explaining all the moments of your life in a very very great manner where you're connecting from one stage to other that we not feel bored. Something I would like to suggest to you to be a great speaker is why try to add some expression while you are delivering some distressful moment or some sad moments of your life. Try to bring it on your face. When you talk about your father passed away, you should have some sadness on your face that at age of 16, my father passed away. You should express it by your face as well. Same thing happened when you lose your job. That was also a moment of sadness in your life. You could have bring in again the expression on your face that it was a sad moment for you. Second thing, I could notice that all the way during your speech, you were standing in one position. I would like to request you to try to utilize the whole stage movement. While speaking about one part of your life, try to speak from one part and then move to other part. While delivering it, move to other part of the stage. Second thing, when you were bringing some conversation of you with your mother, try to add some vocal variety. You could have changed your voice to the mother's voice while bringing in this conversation. So with these 3 notes, you could be a great speaker. Overall, your speech was contentful. You end up with a message that we shall learn from our mistake. We shall never give up. We shall keep trying. And overall, I like your speech. Add these 3 things. Add expressions, stage movement, and vocal variety. You could be a champion speaker. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan. Our next evaluator is an investment banking and corporate finance professional with over 20 years of experience, specializing in mergers and acquisitions, valuation, due diligence.
I think our speaker has not come. That's about Daniel. Is not there. So I'll be evaluating Hidayatullah. The speaker. And Daniel is not there today. The speaker is not.
The fourth evaluator is DTM Sridhar.
Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal was supposed to evaluate Daniel, correct?
Daniel is not there today.
Okay, Daniel is not here. So Sridhar will be evaluating Toastmaster Hidayatullah Baig, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, please welcome our next evaluator who needs no introduction, the president of our club, my mentor, an old friend who I have been knowing for past 20 years. And he's the one who figured out me when I came down here. A true mentor for many, dozens of people I have met. And he has touched life of so many people, bringing them to Toastmasters. He has touched base on so many clubs who are breathing now and nurturing in a significant manner, putting a mark at the international level. Fellow Toastmasters, please welcome Toastmaster Sridhar to evaluate Toastmaster Hidayatullah Baig. Toastmaster Sridhar, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for a generous introduction, and my fellow Toastmasters and my speaker, Hidayatullah Baig. Congratulations first for completing level 2 of a presentation mastery. And your speech of experiences mentors was really very good. What I liked about you was that you were very conversing with the audience. It never looked like you were just reciting or you're just living your experience. This is what I liked. And one more thing, what I liked about it was the opening body and a little conclusion, a little bit you went into abruptness. And the one thing which stood out was that you definitely said, what's the distinction between coaching and mentoring? And your various mentors chronologically you mentioned, from your school days to office days and finally Toastmastering, and your experience. It was really engaging. You were engaging. Another thing what I liked was that your gesturing was very congruent to what you're speaking. So all in all, it was a wonderful speech, and we came to know your experience with mentors. But now to create a greater impact on the audience, what I would recommend is that a few things, if I may say so, a little bit of the lighting, which could be really good, because the contests are coming, so it's a virtual contest, we need to work on those things. The second thing is that a vocal variety. Bring in that vocal variation. As they say, the world champion says, it's a sameness which can lead the audience to sleep. We need to bring that vocal variation, giving that emotions. Although you lived your experience, but that a little bit of more passion and energy can bring in your speech. At the end, when you are going through conclusion, it was a little bit, I felt, abrupt. So what I recommend is that we need to really prepare a speech in such a way that it ends before 7 minutes, so that you don't rush in. And finally, in Toastmasters, we don't say thank you or anything like that. So back to the contest, the table Toastmaster of the day. So all to conclude, practice vocal variation, very important, and dialogue with your mentor, mentee, instead of telling this thing. And finally, practice the speech within that, being succinct within that time period, so that you don't run out of time. You didn't run out of time, but yet you had to hasten it. So that's the reason. If you just practice these things, you will become really a world-class speaker. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, GTM Sridhar, for this generous evaluation. Our next evaluator is going to evaluate the table topic session is an associate consultant oral surgeon at King Saud University Medical City. He's a Toastmaster since 2017, currently club president of Taj Toastmasters Club and BT for PR in Garajana TMC Riyadh, Division B champion and SETAC semi-finalist in international speech contest in 2019-2020. Fellow Toastmasters, please join with me to welcome DTM Dr. Sundar Ramlingam, who will be evaluating our table topic masters. DTM Dr. Sundar, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Before I start, could I just confirm that I'll be having 3 minutes for the minimum time would be 3 minutes because I had 6 speakers to evaluate.
Yeah.
So timer, please note, it will be green at 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes yellow, and 4 minutes red. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to evaluate great table topic sessions today. And at the outset, I'd like to thank our table topics master, Toastmaster Abid Khan, for giving out those beautiful topics in relation to the theme. And almost all of our speakers were capable of speaking out their mind and also delivering the real message that they wish to do it. And that's the true hallmark of a great table topic session. Thank you so much, and kudos to you, table topics master. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar, and it was about mastery requires patience. And he was actually eloquent in describing us that we all need to avoid conformity traps and try reinventing or rediscovering the best version of ourselves. He had he had an anecdote and also a personal example, and his voice clarity was a little bit disturbed here and there. I believe it was due to a technical issue, but other than that, the speech delivery was impeccable. If I wish to give a suggestion to recommend to Toastmaster Ibrahim Karjikar, probably when you talk about a personal example, being a 2-minute speech, it is better to go for either an anecdote or a personal example and not both of them. And whichever you take up as an example to speak about, try to be a little bit elaborate and connect it with your conclusions so that you gain a call for action or send out a clear message. Our second speaker was Toastmaster Munish Gupta. He was joining us from really far away, but thanks to the online platform. What quotation or story keeps you going and not giving up? And it was a great setup that he started off his speech with. He was trying to tell us about how he was trying to find a place for his son in a school. And there a quotation caught his eyes, that is, keep on trying. And then he moved on to or transitioned to his personal story where he has been keeping on trying in spite of adversities, challenges, and difficulties that we all face in our day-to-day lives. And then he was giving out a clear message that no matter what, we all need to be keeping on trying. If there was some improvement that I could recommend to Toastmaster Munish, it is like you had a lot of scope for gesturing and also bringing out a concrete conclusion. I believe you had some issue with the timing, but if that was the case, then probably you always have to set it up earlier and you can actually practice it. Otherwise, it was a great speech. Thank you very much for that. And the next speaker was Toastmaster Sohaib Hassan, who was speaking about what is that one habit that is helping you achieve. And he was again connecting himself to the school days where he was actually being instructed by his principal that aim for the stars, you will at least reach the sky. So this has actually inculcated a habit in him of trying to persevere and stay on track. And he was giving out so many examples in different parts of his life, how he has been persevering and staying on track to go on the path of success. That was actually a great way to start a speech and transitioning to it. And if there was something that I could add up to Toastmaster Sohaib Hassan, it's like, Toastmaster Sohaib, voice modulation is a key aspect of nonverbal communication. Every time you speak, you'll have to make sure that there is some ups and downs so that you're engaging the audience. And the second thing is the conclusion. Always try to bring in a conclusion. Although it's a 2-minute speech, try to have an opening body and a conclusion to have a greater impact. Our fourth speaker was Toastmaster Mati Hashmi. He was talking about never give up. What's your opinion? And he was giving us a story about his job search and how we all have to do strengths and weakness analysis of our own selves whenever we are trying to aiming to achieve something. And the important message that he was trying to deliver is like, believe in yourself and then you will never give up. And this is what was his opinion. If there was actually an improvement or a suggestion that I could tell Toastmaster Mati Hashmi is like, try to go on a personal story. If you start with it and try to elaborate it, because that's the easiest way of taking your speech forward and also the best way to deliver your message to your audience. Our fifth speaker was Toastmaster Balasubramaniam. He was talking about success is building a good habit and breaking a bad habit. It was in fact a textbook table topic speech presentation, I would say. It was with a great opening, a great body, and a conclusion, which actually evoked a call for action from all of us and also handed out a message. If you look at it, he say like habituation of your mind is the most important thing, the right thing at the right time and the right place. So this was his key message that he was trying to deliver. And he connected it with his personal story of how he wanted to be a motivational speaker and took up the path of Toastmasters and then reached the highest echelon, that is the SATAC final stage, because all of things, the right thing, the right time, and the right place fell together. And we all have to be looking out for these kind of opportunities, remove our comfort zones or conducive habits, and then move on to the path of taking over adversities. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bala, for that great speech. And I believe it was a lesson that we all learned from you during a table topic speech. Our last speaker was Toastmaster Kazi. If you are self-disciplined, adversity is not going to do anything to you. A great topic. In fact, he started off very well. Toastmaster Kazi told about how from childhood we all need to be disciplined. And he was giving out an example of how discipline starts with simple things like reaching your workplace on time, reaching the school on time, and things like that. But unfortunately, he was not able to take it forward. And our table topics master was giving him some suggestions to bring in a personal story. I'm pretty sure, Toastmaster Kazi, this was probably your first or one of the very early attempts in table topic speaking. Believe me, we were all like you. We were on the stage and we did not even utter a word, but you spoke for 1 minute. Congratulations and kudos to you. Just keep thinking, because table topics is one thing in Toastmastering that we all believe helps you in any walk of life, no matter what your professional background is. So keep improving on that, and I'm sure you will be one of the great speakers in the future. Thank you very much, and back to you to the general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar, for this fabulous evaluation. Fellow Toastmasters, a great team culture is essential, and every team member is important in maintaining it. If you want a healthy and high-functioning team, you need to have a healthy and positive team culture. Yeah, the team is adversity quotient. The fact is, culture is the sum of parts, as it includes both the written and unwritten rules that dictate how the team works, communicates, and acts. Therefore, you can think of culture as the team's beating heart, the force behind everything your team stands for and does. There's always room for improvement, but at the same time, not at the cost of tarnishing the spirit, what people are carrying. As a general evaluator, I have witnessed several instances where the constructive feedback is given. But few of the times I felt, well, you don't know what the background story is. I love the way this entire meeting was managed as a general evaluator. I do keep an eye on the time clock, and the objective is to conclude the meeting on time. I love the way how few of the Toastmasters stepped up. DTM Sundar took up the role of the world master. Toastmaster Jabbar Ali, who took up the role of the grammarian, the art counter. Most of the work is done in the background. Planning forms 80%, 20% is execution. So my feedback as a general evaluator is the XCOM needs to do what they need to do behind the back. So when they come, when they have the agenda, that should be a solid agenda. No tentative items in there. Committed people coming in and doing what they're supposed to do. Once they do that, the confidence of the entire team would come in. The culture would be further reinforced the way it is. And without much ado, I would hand over the podium to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Point of order, you need to take the reports of the
Yes.
of meeting leaders.
Yeah.
We will extend the meeting by 10 minutes so that the meeting leaders can give the reports. I propose. Please, somebody seconded.
Yeah. I second that.
Okay.
Good point, Toastmaster Shriza. Time Master, can you please say if all the evaluators are qualified?
Back to Toastmaster as general evaluator, all are qualified except Toastmaster Hassan and Toastmaster Sundar Ramaling.
Vote counter, please take a note of that. And the podium is yours, Toastmaster of the day.
Point of information, Toastmaster Ibrahim, like you'll have to seek for the reports, the accounters report, the word masters report, and the grammarian.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad. Again, a mental note for myself as well to be a general evaluator. I need to be a frequent general evaluator. Yeah. Meeting leaders, can I please call Toastmaster Jabbar Ali to present his word master and grammarian report?
No, he's a timer, by the way. The timer
and grammarian. Our counter.
He's the timer and our counter.
Grammarian and word master is Dr. Sundar.
Change, yeah. Okay, Toastmaster Jabbar, please present your our counter report.
Once again, good morning, Toastmaster General Evaluator. Coming to the R counter, Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal use R 2 times, repeat word 4 times. DTM Sridhar use and 1 time, repeat word 1 time, R 3 times. Toastmaster Hidayatullah Baig used R 1 time. Toastmaster Abid used R 1 time. Toastmaster Sohail Hassan used R 7 times, 3 times, and 1 times. Toastmaster Mati Hashmi used R 5 times, I 4 times, and 1 times. Toastmaster Bala used R 1 time. Toastmaster Ibrahim Ali Karjigar used R 2 times. Toastmaster Muhammad Hassan Hussain used R 3 times. Toastmaster Sundar Ramalingam used R 3 times. Coming to timer role, can I get the access to share my screen?
Yes, screen sharing is enabled.
Be able to see my screen?
Yes.
For prepared speeches, Toastmaster Anand Pillai took 6 minutes 22 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Qazi Sayed took 4 minutes 52 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Sanat Agarwal took 7 minutes 30 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Hidayatullah Baig took 7 minutes 30 seconds qualified. Table topic speakers. Toastmaster Ibrahim Ali Karjikar took 2 minutes 28 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Munish Gupta took 2 minutes 24 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Sohail Hassan took 2 minutes 8 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Mati Hashmi took 1 minute 28 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Mind Academy Bala Aran 2 minutes 8 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Qazi Sayed took 1 minute 25 seconds qualified. Evaluation speech, Toastmaster Bala took 3 minutes 23 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Umar Farooq Awan took 3 minutes 29 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Muhammad Hassan Hussain took 3 minutes 44 seconds not qualified. Toastmaster Sridhar, DTM Sridhar took 3 minutes 4 seconds qualified. Toastmaster Sundar Ramalingam took 6 minutes 0 seconds not qualified. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jabbar Ali. Can I please request Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar to present the grammarian report, the work.
Thank you. Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, good morning once again. I did my grammarians report for the entire prepared speech session. Unfortunately, I was evaluating the table topics and could not take it up during the table topics and session. As far as the good usage of grammar was concerned, we saw some interesting phrases. I would say that on the whole, the entire meeting, the grammar that we used was flawless. 95% of the times we were using the right grammar. That was just a little scope for improvement, but we should not let go of it, because resiliency is the ability to come back, even though if it is a small error. So some of the good and interesting phrases that we saw being used today were travel the path, first mentor and the best mentor, absorb information, analyze information and react to it, clear and quantified information. And then you need to dream, you need to dare and deliver it with the help of mentors. And another thing is like habituation of your mind and right thing, right time and right places. And these were some good and interesting areas where we were using the bright side, I would rather say, which we can also try to use. Some areas where we could improve is like, I was seeing certain areas where we were not focusing on our pronunciation. This is something very important, because grammar is not just about using the right word or vocabulary, but also pronouncing it in the right way. So for example, the word protege, it was being pronounced with an improper stress. The stress should be on the J, the last syllable. So it should be protege, okay, not protege. So the protege pronunciation could be fine. And then when you are saying 2.5 years, it should be, it's like a plural. So you have to say 2.5 years. And the use of the term etc., which means so on and so forth, it is better used with things, inanimate objects. When you're talking about people or persons, it is rather better to say so on and so forth or others, something like that. So don't use etc. It's not respectable. It's not that you should not use it, but it is not respectable to use the word etc. after it is a list of people or persons. And similarly, the pronunciation of the word carrier, it's not carrier, it's carrier. Okay, so you can always go into Google, type out the word for its pronunciation and hear it, and you can improve your pronunciation. And myself and my friend, whenever you say something about yourself and another person along with you, you should never use the word myself or me, because for example, if I say myself and my friend went to the market, so you must be able to split each of these nouns and be able to join with a sentence. So myself went to the market is not correct, but my friend went to the market is correct. So it should rather be put as my friend and I went to the market. So in that case, you can split up these two nouns. My friend went to the market, I went to the market. Okay, so you must be able to do this one. And when you are talking about superlative words, it is not necessary to use the word very as a prefix. It's not very invaluable, rather you could say invaluable, because sometimes we tend to use the word very, the most. So this is not required, because the word in itself has the superlative tendency, so that there's no need to add a superlative prefix to that. These were the grammar usage and improvements that I would like to suggest as the grammarian. As far as the word usage was considered, all the big three role players used the word of the day. Among the prepared speakers, Toastmaster Hidayatullah used the word of the day, and in the table topics, Toastmaster Sohaib Ahsan used the word of the day. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar. Time is of essence, and multitasking is not my forte. That's the conclusion of my evaluation. Did a big boo-boo in between, and at the same time, we are lacking significantly behind time. So I would hand over the podium to Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Sridhar.
Thank you, Ibrahim, for a wonderful general evaluation session. So now we'll have to vote for the best meeting leader and the big three. Big three is the Toastmaster of the Day, the Table Topics Master, and the General Evaluator. While the voting is going on, I would ask our guest Munish Gupta to give feedback. Munish Gupta, are you there? Munish Gupta is there?
He's not responding. Sir. He's there in the meeting, but he's not responding.
Okay. And none of the guests are there, I think, other than him.
Yes.
Okay. So let us finish the meet, and then let us finish voting. And by the way, and the big three. Okay. We had, although we had a lot of challenges we had a lot of challenges regarding the last moment because of Diwali celebration. Many people didn't turn up, but somehow we managed to have the meeting and we did some roles. So in future, we will see that such things, we need to do it flawlessly. Although we somehow managed it, the meeting was great today and the learning sessions. And next week, we'll be calling few more guests. So let us be few more guests from Eastern Province and other tall speakers to evaluate. So looking forward for the next meeting. And now back to and Dr. Sundar, our results, please.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer and Toastmaster of the Day. Let me now share the results for today's meeting winners. Our best speaker was Toastmaster Anand Pillai. Kudos to Toastmaster Qazi Syed for his icebreaker speech. The best table topic speaker was Toastmaster Manish Gupta, our guest. The best evaluator was Toastmaster Bala, again a guest. The best meeting leader was Toastmaster Jabir Ali. And the best of victory was our table topics master, Toastmaster Abid Khan. Congratulations to all winners.
Thank you. Congratulations to all winners and congratulations to also our new speaker, Qazi Said. It made a great attempt. Looking forward for many more projects, Mr. Qazi Said. So